How I Was Diddled and Fiddled by Albert Hairbrain. Oh god. Ugh. Do I have to spell out what that sounds like? That sounds awful. I was diddled. I was fiddled by the pair of them. Oh, he's making it worse. You're making it worse, Hairbrain. I was diddled and fiddled by Asman. Oh gosh. Okay. And by that aloof engineer Drebber. They teamed up on me. Ooh, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? I am the story-driven gamer, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are hopping back into the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve. In the last episode, we started another investigation, the second one for case number 3, and we got Susato back. So that's delightful. I missed having her. All we've been doing last episode, I mean, apart from, like, obviously visiting and talking to people and story-related stuff, I've just been having fun just going to random locations and just examining things and getting her fluff text, like old times. But, she dropped some facts on us, or some revelations, I guess, in the last episode. I'm trying to remember some of them off the top of my head. Like, she talked about Jesely Brett, and how that was an alias, I guess. That wasn't her real name. She's somebody else entirely. I don't remember the name that Susato gave us. I did theorize that maybe she was one of the government people that was on that disc we found in the last game. But I don't, because I remember there was a name we didn't remember. But I don't remember what the name was, and I'm not going to go back and look. So, that's that. We also talked about Cosmo a little bit, how his body disappeared, indicating that there is a chance, and this is a Phoenix Wright game, so it's not at all improbable that he's still alive. I was thinking about it, and again, I have no... I hate just, like, throwing wild theories out, especially, you know, but, like, really wild ones, just... Because I really have no evidence for this, but I'm still thinking about who... like, the guy in the mask could be, you know, the apprentice. And I'm like, it's a young guy, I don't know. At first I was thinking, again, my pie-in-the-sky theory, like, what if it was, Van Zieks' brother or something and he's still alive, since, you know, they introduced him to us. But there's been no evidence so far that he might be alive. But now that we've gotten the info that Cosmo might still be alive, that was just something that I thought about randomly, that kind of came to me. But, again, there's no evidence of that, so that's definitely, not high on my, priority list. Just a random thought that occurred to me. I'm sure there's other stuff, but she dropped a lot of stuff on us. It's not coming to me right now. But, yeah, then, like I said, we just kind of explored. We wound up here in Van Zieks'. We briefly met, what was her name, Courtney Scythe, who was the, coroner. And we now have to go visit her. I'm going to save that for last. Hopefully I get to it in this video. Just because it's a new location, I feel that'll be fun to end with. Yeah, and that's about it. So, now we have to move on to a new location. I believe I said last episode I wanted to go to Madame Tuspel's. And the only reason is because that's the only one we don't have an actual reason to go. Plus, I kind of want to see Susato's reaction to it, because it'll be her first time visiting. Like, obviously we have to go to the forensic laboratory. We unlock the experimentation stage, so that obviously we have to go to, you know, examine the crime scene more thoroughly. And then the prison to talk to either Hairbrain or Dregger. I don't know, I can't keep his name in my head. I think it was Dregger. Yeah, and that's it. We visited these 3 locations. The office, the Soames' suite, and the Chief Justice office. Okay, so let's go. Madame Tuspel's. Hopefully Madame Tuspel is home. I miss her. I miss my Madame Tuspel. 23rd of October, Madame Tuspel's. Oh my, no wonder it's called the House of Horrors. The House of Horrors. Susato, House of Horrors. I like to turn on my heels and go straight home. She just clicks her heels. There's no place like home, there's no place like home, there's no place like home. Via the confectionery. Being scared makes you crave sweets? I can understand that. I was just about to say, I'm like, yeah. Sometimes, you know, some people when they're scared, when they're stressed especially. Give me that candy. I was looking forward to a reunion after 6 months away, but there's no sign of Mr. Sholmes anywhere. Oh, I guess he's not on duty. And by duty, I mean posing as a statue. That's strange. He should be here investigating the abduction of the waxwork. Oh well, I suppose we'll just have to come back again later. But that won't stop us from examining things anyway. Okay, the body's been taken care of. I'm assuming. Ah yes, the heavy curtains in the middle of the House of Horrors. Whatever's on the other side of them, you just know it's going to be terrifying, don't you? Ryunosuke, we know it's on the other side. We saw it in there. The sign says it's the Madame Tussbell special exhibit. It seems you have to pay extra to go inside. I know, can you believe that? Pay more money, as if we haven't been scared enough already. Look at these prices and inflation. Gosh. It's not my doing, Mr. Naruhodo. Stop yelling at me. I'm sorry, Susato. I could never be mad at you. Okay, let's just go examine you. Okay, the officer's obviously not here anymore. That old policeman isn't here now, obviously. I still can't believe he just happened to be on the jury, though. What a quinky-dink. As if that ever happens. I'd understand that London has a population of 6 million people, and yet you do seem to run into the same people disproportionately often, don't you? I've made that observation myself, yes. That's why I was shocked when even though the police officer being on the jury was a coincidence, when all 6 of the jurors were actually new people, I was like, say it ain't so. Okay. I guess we'll go this way, since we're heading in this direction. Susato, it's a killer! Tackle him! Save her! This one's posture reveals his weakness. Sorry? The killer's stance leaves him wide open to attack. I'm quite sure I could see him off. You know what? That actually reminds me. It reminds me of I was watching Avatar recently. It reminds me of that scene with Uncle Iroh showing what was he, like the robber, the burglar, whatever he was, had the proper stance to rob someone or to mug someone. That's what it was, a mugger. Yep, with the Susato takedown, then a Susato smash, and finally a Susato. Oh, sorry. Susato squash, and finally, a Susato smash! I read that wrong. Yes, you ruined it, Ryunosuke. Thanks. Right. If that doesn't render the culprit unconscious, a Susato slam should finish him. A Susato slam? Didn't you say that already? Oh, I'm sorry, it's rather hard to explain. Leave yourself open slightly, and I'll demonstrate. No. Stay back. Absolutely not. Oh, man. Oh! Susato? Do you know what this is? It's a ladder. Actually, I forget what side of the debate Ryunosuke's on. I think he's on Team Ladder. Ah, there's a step ladder there. Look! Oh. Yes. A step ladder. Yeah, right. I think perhaps we should let the proprietress know that someone's left it out. The step ladder, I mean. And no other kind. Is something wrong? No, nothing. Why do I feel as though I just managed to sidestep an argument? The top rung. Yes! Another trophy. Last episode we got the one for examining Iris's blackboard every time. And now we got the step ladder. And I believe there's a trophy that I haven't gotten yet for the spade. So I guess there's more spade arguments to be had. Well, it wouldn't be a Phoenix Wright game without a step ladder versus ladder debate. Even though we technically didn't have one just now. Okay. Oh. Okay, what about this? Susato, can you take her? Show me. Oh, what a horrifying... I'm so scared. I'm scared speechless. Oh, what a horrifying scene. A murderer caught in the grisly act. I know. And in case you were wondering, it's the one with the big knife that's supposed to be the killer. Just in case you were confused about that. I don't think anybody would be in any doubt about that, surely. Well, you'd be surprised. But did you know that according to the description, the bathtub at the back has no particular significance? No crap. Oh, what? Really? That's absurd. I would have thought it was meant to show that the killer also worked in a bathhouse peddling criminal wares. Duh, exactly! Aha, we have a new theory. If only this had anything to do with our current case. Like, anything at all. Okay, I think that's it, right? There wasn't a whole lot to examine here, so... let us press on. So like I said, we're going to save the laboratory for last. The question is, where to go next? Where to go next? Should we just go to the crime scene? And then we can talk to... people? Yeah, let's go to the stage. Then we'll go to the prison, and then, the laboratory. 23rd of October, the Great Exhibition Grounds, foot of the Crystal Tower. Oh, my voice is cracked there. Crystal Tower. That's what I meant to say. Oh, that's adorable. And that dog is adorable too. See what I did there? Was that a dog? Yeah, it was a dog, right? No cat would be that friendly. I had no idea there were so many people in the world. I know what you mean. It's really packed here today. It feels as though it's taken us 2 hours just to make our way through the crowds to this point. Has it? I shut my brain down, so I didn't really notice, to be honest. Gosh, I do wish I had your absence of mind sometimes, Mr. Naruhodo. Hey, sometimes it's a gift. Is that Gina? There you are! I had a feeling you lot would show your mugs before long. Oh, it's you. Oh, it's Inspector Gregson. I see you're hard at work as usual. Well, greetings to you. I do hope you've been keeping well since we last met. I can't speak. What's with all the ceremony? We just saw each other in court this morning. Ah, well. Not you, Sunshine. The gentlewoman so loyally at your side. Ah, that's right. Oh. Why, thank you, Inspector. How good of you to notice. What the devil are you wearing? Might be a bit rough around the edges, but he's still a proper English gentleman at heart, I suppose. As you probably guessed, we were hoping to investigate the crime scene more. Or some more. Right, well, that's the young trainee's domain. Oi, get over here, Gina! She's busy. Leave her alone. Aww. She seems to be busy playing with a puppy. Probably giving it a traditional East End training. Don't know what that means, but it's cute. Whatever she's doing, it's cute. Gina! She's a police officer now! Oh yeah, right. That she is. I keep forgetting Susato doesn't know a lot of things that are going on recently. Amazing, isn't it? She's a good kid, actually. Heart's in the right place anyway. She's got the detection bug, if you ask me. Yup. I think she'll follow in my footsteps nicely. She'll be my apprentice. What do you mean? You retiring? I'm being transferred. It's time for me to say toodaloo to London. Toodaloo and whatnot. Oh no, really? That's a bit sudden, isn't it? I had no idea. So where are you going then? Exactly, where are you going to be posted then? We'll come to see how you're getting along. Please don't. Ha, not likely. But you're welcome to try. If you don't mind a trip to France, that is. Okay. To France. They got lots of good food there. I'll be working in the Paris police prefecture. Should be right up my alley. But France? It's an entirely different country. I don't understand. Why would he be sent there? Do they even have fish and chips there? Good God, you're right. Never mind, I'm not going. That's the way the adult world works, Sunshine. Now don't go poking your nose in where it's not wanted. Chill out, buddy. I'm going to take the kid with me when I go. What? You're taking Gina to Paris? Well, I can't leave her here in London. Who knows what's become of her? I suppose he's worried she'd slip back into slipping her hands into the people's pockets and purses. Try saying that 5 times fast. Oh, interesting. I thought he was implying that he's leaving, and then she'll be like the predecessor. Like she'll stay here and take over. Maybe someday, anyway. His position here. I don't know. Guess not. I don't think he's worried about her pickpocketing, Mr. Naruhodo. I think he's worried about the Reaper. Oh, Of course. So that's playing on Inspector Gregson's mind too, is it? Yeah, we still haven't... That's another mystery we have to figure out. Anyway, I haven't mentioned any of this to Gina, so don't go blabbing, you hear me? No, of course not. My lips are sealed. Hey Gina, guess what? I'm gonna keep that diving diva safe and sound. Until all this is over, at least. Oh, there she goes. Oi, do you just call me a bloomin' diving diva again? So you heard that, did ya? Right, well, any questions about the scene, you can put him to more capable Detective Diva here. Toodaloo, ta-ta. Alright, you heard the boss. Inspector Lestrange in charge here now. Look at my badge. It's cool, isn't it? I suppose I better keep my word and not mention anything about Paris. So, Gina, you've got a new dog, have you? Aww. Isn't he great? Toby's his name. Okay. We have met our adorable quota for the episode. Oh, how delightful. He's absolutely adorable. Yes, the dog does seem lovely. But the not-so-lovely Inspector Gregson that's playing on my mind, to be honest. Puppy! Okay. Wait, actually, no. Oh, what the? Okay. Why did that change already to a different conversation topic? I meant to do this, though. We're going to examine the area first. I'm not going to go up there yet. I made that mistake last time. So we won't click on the stairs. Oh, I think the cloth is still on the ground. Ah, the crystal tower. Yeah, the green cloth is still there. I can't believe I'm seeing it. It's close proximity with my own eyes. You've really been looking forward to the great exhibition, haven't you, Miss Susato? Oh, that's right. She's here at last. Oh, yes, when I found out that I had to return to Japan, I'm afraid I cursed my luck. But here you are, back in London, gazing up at the magnificent tower. I know. Perhaps I was wrong to curse my luck so harshly. Okay, let's examine this green cloth. Again. Here's the scorching on the ground that you mentioned. Yes, and there's what's left of the green ballooned envelope. At the time we didn't know what it was. All clear evidence of the balloon that exploded on the day of the incident. Poor Professor Hairbrain. I do feel sorry for him that his dreams have been shattered like this. And that he's such an unfortunate name. Someone's well and truly burst his bubble, as it were. Jokes. Wasn't that funny, Susato? Shut up, Ryunosuke. Okay. You do get it, though, right? Because, you know, pop his bubble like a balloon. Okay. Ouch. I'm a bad person. No, you're not, Susato. I thought that was hilarious. If I do say so myself, even though I'm the one who read it. So maybe I'm just overly narcissistic. Okay. Let's examine the clock. The hole. What a shame that symbolic landmark of the Great Exhibition has been damaged like that. Yes, unfortunately, the birdcage crashed in the most prominent position possible. Yeah, right? It's the gods giving us a warning, if you ask me. Man must travel under his own steam and not cut corners with instantaneous kinesis. That's his words. But imagine what might have happened if the birdcage had landed in a slightly different location. That's true. The death toll could have been far worse. It could have fallen right on top of people. So I think perhaps it was a blessing in disguise. Well, the gods are benevolent, obviously. I did say it was just a warning. Man must travel under his own steam, or next time birdcages will rain down on all of you. Your faith is much stronger than I realized. The Bible of Ryunosukeism. Well, how do you think I passed the entrance exam for Yume University? It wasn't by studying alone. He does bring up a good point, though. Was that part of the plan to have him crash through the tower? Or was that just coincidence? Like, was somebody just trying to shoot him out of the air? Or I guess not even shoot him out of the air, because we know he was in the balloon. But I guess my point is where he landed was that part of the plan. Balloonies. Oh look, a flying balloon. I've never seen one in the flesh before. I can't understand how they can fly. It's magic. It's witchcraft. And so high up as well. Oh, but think of the view, Mr. Naruhodo. You must be able to see for miles and miles. I do think of it, and it terrifies me. I mean, it would be certain death if you fell out. I'm sure they're perfectly safe. After all, they've been invented by some of the brightest minds in the world. Like, I mean, we'll just disregard the fact that Asmund was shot out of one and fell to the building, but... yeah, let's not forget that we know at least one has exploded. You're no fun, Ryunosuke. I'm sure there are other ways to fly. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. Okay, I think that's it here. Again, we're not going up here yet. Before I do that, let's talk to Gina. Yeah, okay. Oh, of course, I gotta present her my stuff, starting with my armband. This armband is proof, in Japan at least. Okay, no, we've read this already. There were a bunch of reporters at trial today, eh? One of them got a sketch of me in the witness stand. Oh, really? Yeah, I look pretty good, right? And that testimony of mine was spot on. I'm not sure that spot on is quite the right description. But you do you. Okay, I wasn't sure if this was her generic dialogue or not, but... like, you know, when you present her something that she has nothing to say anything about, but... guess not. And look, it was in the special edition and all. I bought a copy. Oh, that's a lovely picture of you, Gina. But I thought you couldn't read. What do you take me for? I'm cramming every day. I was gonna say, I think literacy is probably pretty important if you're gonna be a police officer. Well, in her case, she is one. Ah, I see. I started at A, and I've already got all the way to E. Aren't I a genius? Oh gosh. It could be a long journey for you. Gina, have a look at this photograph. It's amazing looking down on everything from up there. I love high places, me. Really? If I'm honest, I can't stand looking down at the ground when I'm high up. I always have to look up. Shame. I want to show you what it's like. But there ain't no point now. You ruined it. Why not? If all you're gonna do is look up at the sky, I ain't gonna be able to look down on ya. With ya, sorry. What's that supposed to mean? I mean, I don't look down on you or nothing. If you don't want to do it, it's your choice. I didn't think I'd ever go up in a balloon, to be honest. Not in my whole life. But now I'm starting to think I might like to. I don't think I've been in a hot air balloon either. Flown on a plane, but not in an air balloon. Okay. With all that done, let's talk to her. Okay, let's start with the most important topic. Toby! The dog! I don't care about anything else. Where did you find that little mutt then, Gina? Oi! Don't be so flaming rude, Odo! Slight overreaction, don't you think? We ain't no mutt, right? Toby's. How would they put it? A cutie patootie? Oh yeah. A bona fide detective. Sorry? I've given him a proper title and everything. Your Chief Inspector Toby to you. Oh, you know what that reminds me of? I'm trying to remember, wasn't it like the very first Phoenix Wright game? It was one of the original trilogy games where you like Gumshoe gave you like a dog and you were actually able to like sniff out stuff. Oh, look at that. Okay. I know one of these puppy dog shots is gonna be my thumbnail, no question about it. Okay, yeah, I read that already. More senior than Inspector Gregson, is he? Of course! Here has everyone wrapped around their little finger. Oh, so he's a police dog, is he? The police recruit dogs now? Whatever next. I've heard that they're really being used officially in Germany as part of their city policing. They're used for chasing criminals and such like. They have a wonderful sense of smell, after all. I have a fairly good sense of smell myself as it happens. I can tell undergarments that have been freshly laundered from undergarments that haven't. Ryunosuke, you pervert! That's nothing compared to this little fella, Odo! Oh, really? According to what the boss said. Well, Strawberry's got a good whiff of your drawers. That was a cute pose. You go chase that scent to the other side of the world. What? To the other side of the world? You mean like a sheer shoe from Avatar? You can swim? Mr. Naruhodo, I think you may have missed the point by rather a wide margin. I just can't believe this little dog has such an incredible skill. I'm telling you, Odo, there's gonna be more and more dogs doing their bit for the police in future. Yes, I agree. Doggies will rule the world. Right? One of these days they'll be barking orders at us lot, not the other way around. What a future that'll be. Oh dear. Sorry, Gina, I don't think I agree with your vision quite that much. Well, anyway, whatever you think about that, Toby is Britain's first police dog. I found him down the East End the other day. Someone had just choked him out on the street. There you go. I knew she lifted him from somewhere. Don't care. Don't give him back. Oh, Gina, you're such a kind-hearted soul, aren't you? To children and to animals. Okay, now we can get to the boring stuff. Let's go up. It was great, wasn't it? I had a right laugh. It was a new one on me, that. You know, being in court and not spending the whole time worrying I'm about to be found out. It must be somewhat of a relief. You did keep an awful lot of secrets in your previous court appearances, didn't you? That's water under the bridge. Yeah, Nodo's made things odd for me every single time and all. Just doing my job, Gina. Watching someone else get it in the neck is a lot of fun, actually. I should be able to empathize with him, but nah. It was amazing when you showed that dodgy professor's dodgy experiment was a total fix. The dodgy professor, as you put it, Gina, is Mr. Naruhodo's client. Yes. I'm starting to wish he wasn't, though. He's not really helping me. It's the boss I feel sorry for. Sent off to do the impossible. What do you mean? He's supposed to arrest that other cove, ain't he? And in time for tomorrow and all. You know, the dodgy engineer. What's his name again? Drebber. I don't know what I called him before. Mr. Drebber, you mean? Enoch Drebber? That's the one? Yeah. So the police are looking for this mysterious man with the black monocle. I guess they would be. It's going too much on the boss, if you ask me. He says it's giving him gut ache. Ow. Oh dear. I do wonder if that isn't actually from all the fried food. Yeah, really. Okay, I guess we'll go on to the engineer's whereabouts. So, Scotland Yard are trying to track down Mr. Enoch Drebber. I wonder if they had any luck. He's really funny looking. Got two eyes but don't match. Stole a glimpse of a picture of him earlier. I mean, I didn't actually pinch it or nothing. The old devil's got it. Sorry? Who? You know, that Scowling Reaper was always glugging down glass of that blood-red plonk. Plonk? Plonk! I guess we are visiting, Zieksy Poo. Ah, Lord Van Zieks. He's always had in for me, that cove. Don't know what he's always scowling about, mind. Probably would have been a pretty good boss as it goes. She'd rather be the Reaper's apprentice than a detective's trainee. I could be the one wearing that cool mask. The way I see it, is the choice between a chip-guzzling detective and a chalice-glugging demigod. You're equally badly off with both. I suppose you're right. I hadn't thought of it like that. Glad we put that one to bed. Anyway, the point is, everyone at the yard is set on finding the fishy engineer. But there don't seem to be no clues to go on, so they're stuck. There's nothing that can lead us to Drebber at all? That's unfortunate, so I guess we go to the prison, we'll just be talking to Hairbrain then. Investigating the scene. Gina? We're actually hoping that we can investigate the scene again. Yeah, alright. If it's around here, you can do what you like. Yay. That was easy. Oh, that's alright, is it? I couldn't care less. I'm gonna be playing with my new friend here, so you can do whatever you want. Yes, Toby. You could commit murder and I wouldn't care. Woof! The machine that exploded must be at the top of those stairs, I presume. I haven't actually seen it yet, so if you don't mind... Sorry, you can't go up there, Suze. Has she ever used that nickname before? Oh? It's like I told Odo yesterday. Even I ain't allowed near the wreck. Didn't you just say I could? What's it called again? The reason we ain't supposed to touch it? The Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act, right? Is that what you were thinking of? That's the one. That's why only them lot are allowed to investigate it. What are they called again? The forensic something? Forensics. Forensic investigation team? Is that what you were thinking of? Yeah, something like that. That's the one, yeah. But isn't it the case that the special dispensation has been lifted? Yeah, I thought that's what they said. I think so. I don't really get it, to be truthful with ya. You're still supposed to get permission from some bigwig orphan, as far as I know. What was his name again? Lord Strange something? Strongheart? I'm not sure that's quite right, Gina. I think you mean Lord Strongheart, perhaps. That's the one, yeah. I'm not good with words. Apparently he's always watching the time or something. Didn't we just come from his office? Actually, we've just recently been to see Lord Strongheart. Eh? You what? You met him? You asked on the boss was called to go and see him. He waited for 3 hours at the Cove's office and came back sniveling. Well, we are more important than him, so... Tragic. Sucks to be him. Well, Lord Strongheart has given us permission to examine the scene. As long as we touch nothing. Oh, yeah? You got any proof? No? Good enough. Honestly. Alright then, go ahead. What if it turns out you're lying? It'll be the boss who gets it. He'll never eat another chip again in his life. If only I cared. So, you're still saying all this is above board, are ya? I'm sure everything will be fine. That really would be tragic. Alright then, them the stairs. Off you go. Thank you, Gina. Oh, thank you, Gina. I love you. Okay. So I wonder if... So I guess if I tried going up here before, Gina might have stopped me. These stairs lead up to the experimentation stage. Let's go and see what we can find out. Let's do this. 23rd of October, the Great Exhibition. Grounds. Experimentation stage. So I wonder if... I forget if it was an option or not, but I wonder if I had come here first, before Strongheart. She would have said that, and then we would have had to go to Strongheart, you know, get the permission, and then come back. So, maybe we did good stopping there first. Look at this machine. Oh my, so this is the machine. Looks like a giant megaphone. That was used to deceive people into thinking instantaneous kinesis had taken place. Yes, that's right. Or rather, it was the machine. It's a little worse for wear at the moment. Yeah. What extraordinary lengths Professor Hairbrain went to in order to obtain this research grant. No, the professor was tricked as well. He didn't know anything about it. He's innocent, I tell you. Yes, of course. It is amazing, though, isn't it? The scale of the whole affair is so very British. You're right about that. You never see such a grand deception in Japan, that's for sure. Can we go on the Ferris wheel? Oh, look, is that... Ah, there he is. Lord Van Zieks. Just the man we wanted to see. So, I think we're more or less done here, aren't we? Shall we, Miss Susato? I think we've seen enough. Already? He is the Reaper, remember? We do well to keep our distance, I think. But we have permission to be here. From the top to the bottom. We're perfectly well allowed to investigate this machine. As long as we don't touch anything. Can we touch Van Zieks? Can we push him off? I don't see any problem with that. From the top, do you mean Lord Strongheart? Exactly. So we can stay here and stare at this wreckage for as long as we like. We can stare until our eyes bleed. Given at the sense of the explosion here, it wouldn't have bent his steel will. Okay, Van Zieks, you stay there. Obviously, I'm gonna talk to you, but I have more important things to examine, like this Ferris wheel over here. I hear that a ride on the Ferris wheel is a favorite romantic outing among young London couples. I think the romance would be slightly spoiled by the abject terror, personally. But then I'm not a Londoner, so... Are you a little scared of heights, Mr. Naruhodo? It's not that I'm scared, not at all. It's just that staying on the ground seems so much safer. Well, perhaps I shall have to ask Iris and Mr. Sholmes to accompany me on it in that case? Aw, Miinosuke. Come on. Get out of your comfort zone. When you put it like that, part of me does want to give it a try. Yeah, do it. Oh dear. It is complicated for you, isn't it? Everything complicated with Ryunosuke. And there goes my controller. Okay, sorry about that. I think I even remember getting a message earlier that my battery was about to die, and I meant to switch it out with my other controller before I started recording, and I forgot, so my apologies. This wasn't here yesterday. I don't remember, to be honest. Really, but if I'm not mistaken, it's the cage in which the victim was standing before he was apparently beamed through the air. Oh, it's that. Did they bring it back here? That's right, the bird cage. According to what Professor Harebrained said in court, it's made of wood. Or more precisely, Japanese cypress, I think. And despite having been in an explosion and then falling from a great height, it's relatively unharmed. What wonderfully durable construction, wouldn't you say, Mr. Naruhodo? I'd understood that the forensic investigation team had taken it away yesterday to examine it. I suppose they must have brought it back here when they had finished their work. But sadly, not with the body inside it. Yeah, probably a good thing. No, that's right. I know we were given strict instructions not to touch anything, but still. This is too important a piece of evidence to overlook. We might need it for the trial. I'll just stick that in my pocket. Wooden bird cage. The wooden cage that was used for Professor Harebrain's experiment. This cage, with the victim inside, crashed down into the crystal tower. Can I look at that? So are we just like lifting it up and like looking around? Okay, let's examine this part. Oh, look here, Miss Susato. Oh yes, the wood's cracked and broken a little. I suppose because it fell from such a height? Yes, from the height at which the balloon was flying. Down into the crystal tower below. Yep, that would certainly do some damage. A fall of about 30 feet, or 9 meters. Leaving the man inside tragically dead. Okay. Was used for the demonstration. It crashed down with the victim inside into the crystal tower, causing damage to its base. I wonder what significance that would have. Anything else? Is that the only important thing? After the crossbow debacle, I want to make sure I don't miss anything else. I think we're done. With that, anyway. What else we got? Anything on the floor here? I guess whatever this building is in the background. Oh, isn't it exhilarating, all this different architecture from all corners of the world? It does make you feel a bit like an explorer, doesn't it? I know it's all subjective, but the onion-shaped roofs have rather caught my attention, personally. It is very subjective, isn't it? Japanese buildings with their wood and paper construction have excellent ventilation. And I've realized that British buildings being made from brick and stone are very strong and long-lasting. The more you know about how things are done in other countries, the more you understand your own, I feel. Oh yes, I do agree with you there. But I can't help wondering what an onion does to the roof of a building. I mean, I suppose it's playing on my mind because I don't like the taste of onions. Same. You really ought to let your taste in vegetables dictate your taste in roofs, Mr. Naruhodo. Okay. That was a very important conversation. Let's examine the base of the machine, I guess. What a terrible explosion it must have been. Even the steel girders have buckled and twisted in the blast. And what they call the bird cage is right in the middle of it all, just here. But look, Mr. Naruhodo, that metal grill on the floor. Looks as though it's designed to open. Oh, okay, so is that what happened? Did the actual, whatever was in the cage, did it just fall through the bottom? Through the base? It does, doesn't it? If the floor had opened at the precise moment the explosion occurred, the birdcage could have dropped through and disappeared from sight. I don't think there's any doubt that this was a very elaborate hoax, is there? Aha! We are making progress. You okay over there, Van Zieks? Don't talk to me. Okay. Let's look up here. Okay, the megaphone part. The beam. Look at that horn-shaped transmitting device. Isn't it amazing? That's exactly what I thought when I first saw it. Great minds think alike. It makes you think, doesn't it? If only it had just been a normal horn, none of this would have happened. That's almost exactly what I thought as well. Wow. Coincidence? I think not. I bet I can predict what you're going to say next in that case. You're about to say, nothing ever goes to plan, aren't you? No, Ryunosuke, don't be silly. Oh no. I would never say something like that. You dingus. Oh, and the balloons again. Get a closer look now. However much I look at them, I just can't come to terms with those Tamari handballs floating in the sky. You've been glaring at them constantly since we came up here. Sorry, the feeling of wanting to ride in one, and wanting never to set foot in one, are fighting it out inside of me. Talk about contradictions. But if you don't look where you're walking, you might fall from the stage. I don't think I noticed. That's how fiercely the battle inside me is raging. I think you should make peace with riding in one, Mr. Naruhodo. It really would be much safer that way. Yeah, is that it? I think so. I guess lastly, we just gotta talk to Van Zieks. Hey there, buddy. Least approachable man in the world, winner. 10 years in a row. Actually, 15. Be strong, Mr. Naruhodo. Your country and your assistants stand firm behind you. I'll be way over there. What, Van Zieks? What do you want? He's taking a nap. What? Well, nice weather we got today, isn't it? Shut up. Oh my god! I said that I started to say that before the text popped up. Beautiful weather we're having, isn't it? Great minds really do think alike. I thought I was making it quite clear that I didn't want to be disturbed. You idiot! Apparently you Nipponese are unequipped to read the signs. Oh, I read them. I just didn't care. So, what are you doing here? Entry to this area is prohibited. Well, the thing is, Lord Chief Justice Strongheart granted us permission to investigate, on the condition that we didn't disturb anything. And yet you managed to disturb me. And I saw you twisting that birdcage thingy all over the place, looking for evidence. Never mind. See to your business then. We don't have to answer to you. Come to think of it, there are quite a few things I'd like to ask Lord Van Zieks about. Not least of which is that awful case, even though it's nothing to do with this. I'm sure he wants to talk about that. Ask away, Mr. Naruhodo. You won't know unless you try. I'm gonna die today, aren't I? Okay, let's start with Trevor. Then we'll talk about Clint. Are the police trying to locate the engineer, Mr. Drebber, already? Surely that goes without saying, you idiot. We're very keen to see him found as well. The trouble is, we don't have much to go on aside from the description of the man we heard in court earlier. Which, oh, she pulled out the book. Which, according to Professor Hairbrain, was of a tall, thin gentleman who has straight white hair and wears a black monocle. So I was just wondering. I mean, I realize it's probably not possible, but we very much appreciate any more clues you can give us. Pretty please. Wow, Susato-san really knows how to take the bull by the horns. Fine, why not? Oh, that was easy. I have a photograph of the man here from an investigation 10 years ago. Okay, so it's an old picture. Though it appears you already had that black monocle at the time. He looks creepy as hell. What? Oh, no, nothing. I was just surprised that you shared that with us. Me too. We will need the man's testimony in court tomorrow, which means we have to do everything we possibly can to track him down in the short time available. So why wouldn't I show you the photograph? Okay, fair point. What is it about Lord Van Zieks? He's too cool for school. Sometimes I just can't work him out at all. Okay, photograph of Drever. Photograph of print of the engineer, Mr. Enoch Drever. It's hard to make out, but he appears to be wearing a monocle with black glass. I'm just looking to see, since that's a 10-year-old photo. Oh, we got a picture from here. Yeah, he looks very malnourished and creepy. Yeah, no, he doesn't really look like anybody. He has the same hair as Courtney Scythe, but yeah, I don't know. The masked man, perhaps? Nah, I doubt it. I doubt he has anything to do with that. Okay, let's talk about your brother Clint. So, Clint. Get out. He throws me off the tower. With the name of your older brother, I understand, Lord Van Zieks. You Nipponese. I always have to be on guard whenever you're around. So, you've been investigating me, have you? Oh, no, it's not like that. Well, alright. It is a bit like that. My older brother was also a prosecutor. He was the pride of the Van Zieks family. But tragically, a vicious killer took him from us. The professor, you mean? Wait, why are you laughing? I don't know. Is something funny? That's the extent of what you've discovered, is it? I shouldn't be surprised. Sorry? There's more to it then. Give us the deets. Lackluster work is very much your trademark, isn't it? Ugh. You're too kind. Are you gonna tar all Nipponese with the same brush next? So tell me, what's your interest in that historical incident? As it happens, Lord Van Zieks, there's a rather curious case that's come to our attention. Do tell. Are you aware of the Madame Tuspel's Museum of Waxwork by any chance? I am, naturally. I believe that since last month I feature in one of the displays there, for public scorn. Oh, okay then. Of course the infamous Reaper the Bailey would have to be exhibited, wouldn't he? Well, a particular waxwork has been stolen from the place, and held for ransom. A particular waxwork? Which... Wait, you mean... Yes, it's the professor. Mr. Sholmes is investigating the case as we speak. That idiot? I wasn't aware of that. Oh, who's the shoddy investigator now? Van Zieks? He's turned as white as a sheet. Okay, is that all? Oh, hello. Ah, the file requested for the trial tomorrow. Thank you. What? Susato? What is it? Are you alright? Who is this man, Mr. Naruhodo? Is he just surprised by his presence, or does he maybe recognize him? Lord Van Zieks' apprentice, apparently. So I'm not the only one. Susato-san can see it too. Are they both thinking the same thing? Lord Van Zieks? Maybe we speak with your apprentice for a moment? With him? Why? Okay, I guess that's a yes. Kazuma-sama! Oh, was I right? Come on now. Come on now. Kazuma Kiryu! I don't believe it. Your posture, your presence. It can only be It's you, isn't it, Kazuma-sama? Oh my god. I was just saying that, but I definitely didn't think we'd get this early. If we're right, maybe we're completely wrong. I felt something strange the very first time I encountered this cloaked figure. As if I knew him somehow. Can it really be you, Kazuma? You were mistaken. Wait! And he's gone? Too late. What's going on here? Okay, let's get the deets. What is your interest in my apprentice exactly? You act as if you know the man or something. Well, we might. Since when has he been in your care? I don't recall you having an apprentice before I left Britain 6 months ago. Lord Strongheart introduced him to me about 3 months ago now, with instructions to mentor him as a prosecutor. But he didn't tell you why, did he? The man appears to be suffering from amnesia. He's forgotten every last detail about himself. He has amnesia? Oh boy. An amnesia plotline. Tomorrow he'll appear in court at my side. Oh, that's sick! What? He's to serve as my judicial assistant on Lord Strongheart's orders. I don't think we've ever had a prosecutor who has, like, an assistant. That's pretty dope. He'll be in court with us? Now then, unless I'm much mistaken, I believe this conversation has run its course. Oh. Yes, thank you. Interesting, because he's supposed to be if that is Kazuma, he was of course training to be a defense lawyer, so now he's a prosecutor? I definitely saw a reaction there. But again, if he really does have amnesia, then maybe he just forgot all that, and they're using him as a prosecutor now. When Susato-san called out like that, it really seemed to hit a nerve. When she called out Kazuma-sama. Wow, intriguing. You'd already met that masked man, hadn't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Once, very briefly. Yes, yesterday, in fact, at Lord Van Zieks' office. I see. And if Kazuma-sama really is still alive, it means that Mr. Sholmes lied to us. I know. We're gonna need to speak to him about that. You're going to have to leave now. Yes. The forensic investigation team are due to arrive shortly. If they find you here, it will cause problems. What sort of problems? Foreign affairs problems. Oh, get out. Well, we could do without that. Alright, we'll be on our way. Let's go, Miss Susato. Of course. Wow. Like, again, I threw that out as a pie-in-the-sky theory, but I really didn't think that, if that was the case, that it would be revealed, or at least talked about so early. Because, again, there's a chance we're completely wrong, or there's something else going on here. Okay, we talked to you about everything, right? Oh. Oh, I bet that's why it switched. The conversation switched, because we already had permission from Strongheart. Now what does she say? Gina? We were actually hoping that we could investigate the scene again. She's just gonna be like, nope. Yeah, alright. If it's around here, you can do what you like. Oh. That's alright, is it? I'm gonna be playing with my new friend here. Ah, yes. Toby. What? This sounds familiar. Apparently we can't look around on the stage now because the forensic investigation team are at work. Can't you do anything, Gina? In your capacity as Inspector Lestrade? Not really. Look, I'd like to help you out. But I'm just a trainee, ain't I? Ain't nothing I can do. When it suits you, yes. Okay, fair enough. So I don't know if we should try going back to Sholmes' suite to see if Sholmes is around. Because we said we need to talk to him. But we already went there, so I kind of want to go to... Like I said, I'm saving that, so let's go to the prison, see if I can talk to Hairbrain. Oh, jeez. Jeez Louise. 23rd of October. Look in prison cell 11. I did it! I figured it out! I've unlocked the secrets of the universe! What's he doing? He's... Oh my, the whole wall of the cell is covered in mathematical equations. And he's still writing more now. Professor, sorry to interrupt. Hello there! Oh, Mr. Naruhodo! And who is this young lady? Long story. My name is Susato Mikotoba. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant. Pleased to make your acquaintance. It's a pleasure to meet you, Professor. I'm busy at the moment. Can you leave? Oh, if only I'd met a refined young woman like you sooner. None of this would have happened. Why? No, that's not logical. That makes no sense at all. Oh dear, I'm sorry if my presence here upsets you. Nah, he's just a weirdo. I owe you an apology too, Professor. I didn't manage to deliver what I promised you I would in court this morning. Yes, you suck. Oh no. No. This whole thing. This whole miserable affair. It all happened because I've been such a complete and utter clot. Professor Hairbrain, what have you been working on in your cell? Oh. Haha, you mean that? Oh dear, how embarrassing. Is he working on a new hypothesis? I was suddenly struck by an idea, you see, and I simply had to write it down. The wall was all I had to hand. Oh, is it some new hypothesis? Something to surpass super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, maybe? Ah, no, actually. This is my autobiography. What? Your autobiography? How? How is that possible? How I Was Diddled and Fiddled by Albert Hairbrain. Oh, God. Ugh. Do I have to spell out what that sounds like? That sounds awful. How I was diddled and fiddled by my father. Oh gosh. Okay, let's move on. I found I can represent my odd fortune. Why am I talking like that? I found I can represent my odd fortune with the only odd numbers in an ambitious set of simultaneous equations. Really? I'm gonna pay back all the loads I took for the kinesis machine, you see? So it's going to be a new serial publication from next month, part 1, an odd birth, an odd upbringing. You can beat the man's optimism, that's for sure. Oh, you can't beat the man's optimism, that's for sure. I see, well, for now, would you mind if we talked a little more about the case? Oh yes, of course. I've been working through the numbers. I was diddled, I was fiddled, by the pair of them. Oh, he's making it worse, you're making it worse, Hairbrain. I was diddled and fiddled by Asman. Oh, gosh, okay. And by that aloof engineer Drever. They teamed up on me. We're not going to have to sit through an explanation of all these equations, are we? Otherwise, I'm leaving. Goodness gracious, okay. Do I have to present you all this stuff? I guess I might as well. Oh, let's see if we show him the photograph of Drever, let's see what happens. Professor Hairbrain, what do you make of this? Oh yes, that's just what we need to prove my hypothesis, isn't it? No. It's nothing to do with your hypothesis, actually. Then take it away. I don't want to be bothered with anything that doesn't assist my science. Alright. Keep your abundant hair on. I was sure you'd have something to say about that, since this is engineer. What about the bird cage? Nope. I'm going backwards because I think I presented him some of the stuff that we got early on. Professor, do you recognize this? Oh, it's Andrew, my faithful friend. How have you been? Are you alright? Nobody's mistreated you, have they? Don't worry, he's being very well looked after. I always rub him with the machine oil until he's gleaming. Right. You weirdo. And then when I come to tighten a screw with him, he slips in my hand and I can't do it. It's that age-old problem faced by driver files the world over, isn't it? Gotta stop lubing my screwdrivers, haha! I really wouldn't know, I'm afraid. Okay, fascinating. Thanks for sharing. Okay, I think we pretty much showed him everything, so let us converse. Yes, let's go in order here. Everything I believed in has been turned on its head. My research, Mr. Asman, the kinesis machine, my hypothesis even. I'm sorry it's come to this. There was really no other way. No, it's not your fault. I wanted to protect my work, but in the end, there was nothing worth protecting. Woe is me. It was never my intention to deceive anyone. I didn't want to trick the public. But you did. No, of course you didn't. But in court this morning, I realized something. Oh? If you've done something wrong without knowing it, you've still done something wrong. Logically, it makes no difference if you're aware of it or not. It kind of depends. I get what he's saying, though. Ignorance is a poor excuse. The blame still lies with me. I mean, yeah, I guess if you're doing something wrong and you don't realize it, it doesn't change the nature of the thing you did. But it affects your guilt, I suppose, to a certain degree, but it's still wrong. Oh, Professor. He believed in me this morning, you know? Barrick did. He believed in my hypothesis. Well, I think he's full of crap. That was just a necessary factor in the prosecution establishing its case. No, Barrick wouldn't do something like that. I'm sure he genuinely believed it. Did he? I think I understand now. Why it was that he decided to take on the prosecution in my trial, I mean. Oh. Why do you think? I do think he's probably on your side. After the terrible accident happened, nobody would believe in my hypothesis anymore. Not the police, not the prosecution service, not any lawyers even. I feel like I dealt some kind of finishing blow there. So if any other prosecutor had taken the case, if it was anyone other than Barrick, I'm sure the prosecution would have declared my hypothesis complete and utter nonsense. And in that case, you would have been declared a fraud yourself, Professor. Exactly, which would have been a fate worse than death for me. But Barrick insisted that I was a proper man of science from start to finish. Yeah, it would have ruined his reputation. You think that's why he... I know him very well indeed. He's an extremely kind-hearted soul. Sure, he is. But that extremely kind-hearted soul is kind of a jerk. He spent all morning trying to paint you as a murderer, didn't he? Well, admittedly, that part of the analysis appears to have some flaws in it. And what about the whole Reaper side of things? How does that fit in with the kind-hearted soul idea? Well, again, we don't know that he is actually the Reaper. Let's talk about the Asman. Do you think he set out to trick? Sorry. Do you think he set out to trick me from the very start? I'm sorry to say, that does seem likely. Yes. You've been bamboozled. When I first met him, he introduced himself as a wealthy financier. He looked over the paper I'd written and said my work would benefit all humanity and must be pursued. He was so enthused. He was so emphatic. But in reality, he was the mastermind of some vast criminal network, it seems. I still can't believe it. Poor guy. As the machine was essentially a set decoration for some stage magic. It probably didn't require a large amount of investment, actually. But the scale of it wasn't just some small trick. Yeah, really. They have to make that giant machine and make it seem like it works. It was a very elaborate feat of deception. All young scientists are full of hope about their burgeoning ideas, full of zeal. But none of us have any money. We want to do research, but we can't afford it. Many of us take on barely legal part-time work to try to earn just a few measly pennies to carry on. To go through all of that, only to be taken for a complete fool. It's too rotten to believe. Yeah, that sucks. Poor guy. It is, I agree. And that's why we have to find those responsible and bring them to justice. Mr. Asman is no more, of course, which leaves only the engineer. You gotta help us with that. Mr. Enoch Drebber. Speaking of Drebber, is he an engineer, or a magician, or a swindler? All of the above. It was about a year ago when Mr. Asman first brought Drebber to meet me at my laboratory. Since then, I've met him many times to discuss details about the kinesis machine. But at no point did you have any light inkling that he was just an illusionist? Oh, he definitely wasn't just an illusionist. What do you mean? He probably was an actual scientist, but he was a wealth of deep scientific knowledge. There's no question that the man's a genuine scientist. It's instantly apparent in conversation. I see. But that doesn't mean he's not a scam artist too. But the wretched man deceived you, Professor. It's unforgivable. We must do everything we can to find him and bring him to justice. Are there no more clues you can give us as to his whereabouts? I'm sorry, we only ever discussed the kinesis machine. Nothing else. Ah. Although, just once, I did visit his workshop. What workshop? Drebber's enormous fabrication laboratory where he constructed my great machine. Oh, is that all? That would have been useful to mention. Why? Why didn't you mention this before? I didn't think it was important. Enoch Drebber's workshop? There's every chance we may find the man there. Okay, well, now that you finally mentioned it. So you've been to Drebber's place of work, then? Yes, just once, you understand? It was an enormous place. Plenty of room to construct the kinesis machine, you see? Where can we find it? We have to go there at once. There's a good chance that we'll find Drebber there. Well, yes, definitely, I'm sure. As in, I'm sure you're not going to want to hear this. What? But I have absolutely no idea where the workshop is at all. I'm so sorry. I was more than half expecting that. Yeah, me too. Thought that'd be too easy. You see, I was blindfolded in the carriage the entire way there. He blindfolded you? He wasn't taking any chances then. The place was incredible. The pinnacle of modern engineering. Even the oil he used was the very best, a special French machine oil that's impossible to obtain in Britain. Ah, the indescribable scent of that imported oil. Perfumers across the world should forget their secret formulae and use that instead. Are you sure you're not high on that perfume? What do you think, Miss Susato? Oh, that's me. What do you think, Miss Susato? Air de machine for your next birthday? I don't know what the heck you're talking about. I've never used any kind of perfume, Mr. Naruhodo, and I'm not sure I'd like to start with that. So do you just smell naturally good? Sure? You weirdo. I don't suppose you know even part of the workshop's address, Professor. You don't have a business card for Mr. Drebber, for example? The man was clearly very cautious, Susato. Aha! Yes, I do. He gave me his business card once. It's right here, look. What? Let me see that. Hi-ya! Throw etiquette to the wind, why don't you? Ooh, let's take a look. There's no way the address is on there, is it? Enoch Drebber, engineer. I'm afraid that's all it says. There's no address. I mean, obviously. If he blindfolded you to get there, he's not gonna be like, oh, by the way, here's my address. No. Oh well. Can't say I'm surprised. Still, this could be useful. There's gotta be something informative about it. Enoch Drebber's business card, though it shows only the man's name, there is no address. Is that it? Are we done here? Let me take a look. I don't know if I really looked at this picture too carefully either. Okay, the street signs aren't important because you can't see anything. Oh no, that's what that kind of looks like Asman from the back, maybe? I don't know. He has a badge. I don't know. He has an eye patch. You knocked Drev, but maybe you hid something in here, like maybe it's an envelope? What the heck is this? This dark smudge here. I think perhaps it's machine oil. Yes, possibly. Professor Harebrain mentioned something about the oil Mr. Drebby uses, didn't he? He said it was specially imported, very high-quality oil that's impossible to obtain in Britain. Yes, that's right, but more importantly, that it's more fragrant than the finest perfume, so... Excuse me a moment. So is it perfume and not oil? Oh, it doesn't appear to have any scent at all. Don't worry, I expect that just because there's such a tiny amount on here. Okay. No address. There is a smear of machine oil on the reverse. Okay. I'm sure that'll be important later on. I don't know if I have to present this to a Harebrain if he has anything new to say about it. Nope. So we still have to go to the laboratory. I think that's it, right? We've been to Madame Tussbell's. We can't go to Van Zieks' office still. It's like I really don't know how much is left in this investigation, but I kind of want to end here. I did want to try and get the forensics laboratory in this episode, but it's getting kind of late. I have no idea how long this will be. I remember when we went to Madame Tussbell's, that one episode. Literally the entire episode, which I think was over an hour, or at least close to an hour, was spent just there, right? So I feel like this is a good place to stop. We learned a lot. Obviously the major thing is what we learned about Cosma potentially being, whatchamacallit, the masked guy, the apprentice. And I wonder if that's what it's going to be, if there's going to be some other twist. I really don't know. But if that is the case... it feels early to have come to that conclusion, but it could be simply that he either has amnesia or, again, he's undercover pretending to have amnesia to kind of like play like, oh, I don't know anything about what's going on or about my past, but maybe we know Strongheart is the one who appointed him as Van Zieks' apprentice, so Strongheart might know what his real identity is, and there might be some kind of plan at play here. I don't know. But more importantly, Gina has a puppy. Very cute. And yeah, it's just been... We got to visit the experimentation stage. Prison we just did. That's really it now that I think about it. We just went to the stage and the prison, right? Because we left... Oh no, we went to Madame Tussbell's briefly too. There was just nothing to do there. Anyway, that's all I really have to say. I'm excited. I'm almost positive we'll finish the investigation in the next episode. Most likely, and then we'll be moving on to what is probably the last trial for the case, I would imagine. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you're enjoying the Let's Play so far. Please go ahead and leave a comment if you have anything you want to say about any theories you may have. Spoiler free, of course. If you played the game, then obviously don't theorize or talk about what's going to happen next. But if you haven't, I'd love to hear your theories. And yeah, go ahead and hit the like button and the notification bell, subscribe to the channel, and share the video with all your friends, family, and loved ones. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next time. So take care, and bye-bye.